Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to share another layout in my Me, Myself, and I album. And here I'm going to show you guys a previous layout I did. I will go ahead and add the playlist to all of the layouts and videos about this album down below in my description box, so be sure to check that out. I'll also go ahead and leave Moira's and Amy's playlists as well, because they are joining in with this project that we're all three going to be doing throughout this year. So here I'm going to work today on the prompt for my favorite color, and I decided to use this photo here. This is a Snapchat filter I used where I got two of these photos in black and white, two in color. I'm going to use the black and white photos on this layout today. So now I'm going to go through the kit that I put together for this project and pull out a few of the pattern papers in different shades of pink. And I also grabbed, I believe, just one in black and white, a really subtle black and white, just to add some contrast to the layout. And these are all Felicity Jane pattern papers. If you would like to see how I put this kit together, I will have that video also in the playlist that will be linked down below in the description box. So I have this 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock that I blended 3 different shades of pink on there, and I had it on my desk. I was actually trying out a brand new blending brush I got recently, and seeing that this layout was about my favorite color, which happens to be pink, I decided why not use this as my background. So my album is a 6 by 6 album, and I went ahead, cut out the section where I love the different shades of pink. It was the most subtle part of the blending that I did. I went ahead and cut out the 6 by 6 sheets there. So you can see I have one saved for the right side of my spread in a later video. So this will be the left side that I'm going to be working on today. So right now I'm going to add a few layers behind my photos. And I'm going to add this really pretty pink pattern paper here, and leave just a very thin border around it, and then I'll layer it up on some black and white design here. Now you'll see I pull out 2 other black and white I have here. This will be the leaves, and I love the hearts here, but I felt it would just be a little bit too busy. I really wanted on this layout for the pink to be the main focus as well as my photos, and I did not want that really busy black and white to compete with the pink at all. So I went for the polka dot black and white pattern paper instead. So now I'm gonna go ahead and ink the edge of that black and white paper. I tried a shade of pink from my archival ink pads here that just was not showing up enough, so I decided to go with this brighter pink, and I will add these items I'm using today down in the description box along with the exact colors that I used. And you can see here, once I add that third layer behind my photo, I'm going to ink that as well using that really bright and bold shade of pink. And it's just a really light shading, so it's not standing out too much, but it's there. It's adding just a really nice detail. Now I got these Crafters Workshop stencils recently. I actually did a haul on my art journaling channel showing you guys all of these beautiful stencils. If you have already subscribed to that channel, you would have seen it. If not, I will have it linked below in the description box. You can check it out if you're interested in art journaling at all. But I recently got these really fun and beautiful floral stencils, so I wanted to use it on this layout today. So here I'm just sort of figuring out exactly where I want it to be, because once I do my right page, I also need to add a little bit of the stenciling on that right page just to tie both pages together. So I decided to go ahead and just use about 2/3 of the stencil here and add my photo to the right side of it. So you can see I pulled out Kitsch Flamingo there. That's the brand new color from the Distress Oxide line, and it's really bright. So I decided to go ahead and add another layer of petals using worn lipstick, And you can see I'm not lining this up exactly. I don't care where it's lined up because it's adding more leaves to the cluster, if that makes sense at all. And you can see I'm not even coloring in the entire floral piece, just parts of them, parts of the leaves here. So it's just adding a little bit of shading here and there with this flower. So now I'm going to go in with a really deep sort of a pink red. This is mahogany. It's aged mahogany. And you can see I'm adding that a lot to the center, going towards the edge. And once I pick it up, I realize I do need a little bit more of that towards the end of the petals. And I'll go back in and add it anywhere that I see that I need some more of that aged mahogany. And I love how this looks. Now to brighten up this flower, because it is fading into the background, it's just blending in a little bit too much. I wanted it to stand out, but not too much. I am using my white gel pen here just to add a little bit of detail on all of those little circles in the center of the flower. This is a daisy flower stencil. And I tried adding some lines in between the petals with the gel pen, but it just was not working out too well. So I pulled in this Faber-Castell marker, and that did the trick. So I'm just adding some lines, and it looks pretty bold right now. It looks really bright white, but it will fade out just a tiny bit once it dries. And that just lightened up that flower, brightened it up, I should say, and it's a little bit more visible, but still not too bold and in your face. So once I am done adding all of these little details here to my flower, I'll go ahead and add my photos to my background. Now previously I left my photo a little slanted, the one on the top, but I went ahead and straightened that up. So now I'm going to work on my title. And on my previous layout that I showed you before, I used this stamp set. So I want to continue using the same stamp set throughout this album just to have some cohesiveness throughout the album. And I am going to go ahead and add my title now, which says Color Me Pink. So I'm using a black ink pad, and the stamps that I'm using is from Close to My Heart. I think this one is called Whimsy, but I will double check and add that information down below. So I'm going to go ahead and add in the word color using the stamp set. Then I'll use these cute little tile alphabets, and these are from Felicity Jane. I think this is from their Essentials line, and I'm going to add those in to spell out the word me. And I'm going to continue adding in the rest of my title, which says pink. Now I wanted to add it in pink. Of course, the other ones would be too light, so I went with the aged mahogany instead, which I know it's not exactly pink, but it is a darker shade of pink I'm seeing today. So, but here I'm adding it in with the aged mahogany, and it's too dark. Well, not too dark, but it's just not standing out like I wanted to. So I'm going to go over those alphas here with the black ink, and I was not concerned if I got a little halo of that aged mahogany in the background behind the black stamps here, and I was going to be fine with it, but I actually lined them up pretty well. I do not get a lot of halo at all around these alphas, and these are such fun alphas for this album. I love the scripty font of them, and I think they go really well with these layouts. So here I'm pulling in some embellishments, which I keep very minimal. I'm going with this little border sticker here, puffy sticker, and I'm going to save what I'm cutting off right now off the edge for the right side of this 2-page spread. And that way, once I add that into the right page, it will bring both layouts together, tie them both together, so they flow really nicely. And I'll do the same with this one as well. Now you can see I also add a little label to the bottom of my photo. That's where I'll add just a tiny bit of journaling about my favorite color, which is pink, which simply says that my favorite color has always been pink. I rarely wear pink, And I don't own a lot of pink stuff, but it just is my favorite color. I cannot explain that any more than that, but that's my favorite color. So that's what I'm explaining here on that little bit of journaling. Here I'm adding a little bit more detail using some enamel dots. These are also from Felicity Jane. I chose these really bright pink ones, and I added two next to my journaling, one to the top right photo, and I'm adding in a bunch of those, just making sure I spread them out evenly with the different shapes and colors on the center of that flower. And I also use a lighter pink, which you'll get a better look at right now as I bring it up closely. So I have two different shades of pink on the center of those flowers. And a little bit of white from the gel pen adds some really nice detail to the center of that flower as well. So I love, love, love how this turned out. I hope you guys enjoy the process, and I hope you join me fairly soon where I'll share the right page for this 2-page spread. And follow me along throughout the year as I complete this album. So I want to thank you all for watching today, and until my next video, bye.